morning. Welcome to Repose. I'm Brandy and I'll be your instructor today. Just a few things I want to let you know about. We have our Friday morning classes at 9 a.m. They were at 9:30. We're moving to 9 a.m. for the summer at Scripter Park. Some beach yoga. If the weather isn't nice, it will be back here at the home studio. So come and join us. We also have classes on Wednesday evenings and Saturday mornings. Some special events are coming up. We were going to have a morning yoga at the Lavender Farm in Romeo. Check out our website, reposewellness.fit, for more information. We're going to start this morning in a seated posture. We're going to have a gentle flow. So we have a slow flow class on Fridays. This is going to be a little more relaxed and gentle than our average slow flow. And find a relaxed seat, maybe sitting on a blanket, maybe on a pillow. Just let the knees drop, let the shoulders fall back, close the eyes. And just let the breath be relaxed and natural. And as with any of our yoga classes, if you're joining us at home, if you have a candle that you like the fragrance of, something that makes you relaxed, dim the lighting. If you're just waking up this morning and joining us, being in your pajamas is perfectly fine. Whatever allows you to be comfortable. I'd like to introduce you to box breathing. This is where we're going to inhale in and out through the nostrils. On the inhale, just trying to count the length of that inhale, about 4 seconds. And then we pause and hold that inhale for about 3. So visually we imagine inhaling the top of a box, holding that breath down the side of the box, and slowly exhaling for the same length of time through the nose. Once you've let it all out, holding that exhale, just drawing visually in your mind that breath. Allowing that inhale to be very deep. The chest and lungs expand. We hold, slowly exhale, really start to squeeze the belly in, using the diaphragm to lift and push all that air out and hold the exhale. Learning to work with and control our breathing is a big part of yoga. It's a big part of finding that state of calm and allowing us to control that heart rate when things are stressful. It all comes back down to the breath and how we manage that breath. And also counting that inhale and that exhale keeps our mind busy from wandering into other things that take us away from really noticing our body and our practice, our intentions. Start to add some shoulder rotations to that breath, bringing first the shoulders forward, up towards the ears, and then squeezing down the back. Maybe you try to align that movement with that inhale or exhale. So just feel your way through this morning. Maybe you pause that rotation when you're holding the breath and continuing it with that rhythm. One more and then reversing that rotation. Bringing those shoulders back towards one another, up towards the ears, and then finally forward. Just noticing the difference when we change that rotation. Maybe you notice a difference in the breath. Maybe you notice a difference in the body. I'm going to find that place of rest again. Just shake it out. Both arms are going to reach overhead. Nice deep inhale. Lift the shoulders, lift the heart and lungs. On the exhale, right hand comes down to the floor. Left hand starts to reach over. We really want to push that left rib cage up towards the sky as we lean into it here. So we're squeezing into that right side, lifting with the left. Your head can be relaxed, or maybe you're able to look up towards the sky, towards the arm here. Maybe you keep the eyes closed. Just notice how with each breath you're really breathing into that left side body, expanding the rib cage and feeling another extra level of stretching with each inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, that left arm reaches up as we come back to center. Exhale, relax. And both arms are going to reach out like a T. Inhale, bring that left hand across to that right knee. Right hand comes behind you, just looking over that shoulder for a spinal twist here. Just focusing on a deep inhale and squeezing out the exhale, not holding that breath any longer. Allow the inhale to be deep. Exhale, we're squeezing a little further into that twist. And on your next inhale, gently returning to center. Bring the hands back to the side, noticing what leg is in front, no matter how you're seated. Just bringing that. For me, it's the left and then the right. Just a little movement to the knees, loosen it up. Lift the chest, let the head fall back. A few deep breaths here, just noticing a nice stretch in the front of the body, front of the neck. Really pulling the heart forward, creating an arch with the back. And then start to bring it back up. So the same foot that you brought out first, again for me was the left, is the first one you're going to bring in. So just reversing the way that you were seated, settle in, whatever that looks like for you. Nice deep inhale, reaching overhead. Hands come together, exhale, hands at heart center. Find that breath again here just for a moment, noticing that deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. And when you're ready, inhale, arms overhead. Nice deep stretch. Maybe you shimmy into it. Exhale, left hand's going to come to the floor. Right hand reaches overhead. And just like we did with the other side, really pulling that rib cage up, lifting and bending into that left side. Noticing how that rib cage expands and collapses with that deep breath. And on your next inhale, just starting to reach that arm up again. And exhale down to the floor. Maybe take one more breath here. Just shake out any tension you're feeling. And then arms are going to come out to a T. Deep inhale. Right hand is going to come across to that left knee. Left hand reaches behind. Spinal twist to that left side. And slowly come back to center. If you chose to sit on a prop, a blanket, or a pillow, we're going to just rock forward into that tabletop position, and you might just remove that to the side. Get there any way that's safe for you. Maybe you can't roll up onto the knees like I just did. Always do what's best for your body today. And we'll meet in this tabletop. We want to bring those knees about hip width apart. We want the knee to be under the hip. It's easy to go wide with it. Just kind of check in there. And then we want to bring that wrist under the shoulder as much as you can. Just feel your way into it, spreading those fingers nice and wide. We're pressing into the thumb and that baby finger, kind of pressing that into the ground. Really lifting in through the belly and the shoulders takes the pressure off of the wrists here. Just taking a few breaths in this neutral stance of table. And then just start to bring a little bit of hip movement here, just loosening up the hips and the side body. Don't worry what it looks like. only paying attention to what it feels like. If you notice you're tighter in one side, maybe you go a little bit deeper, pushing into the hip on one side. And we'll arrive back at that standard tabletop. Coming into a cat and cow, we start with cow, start to drop the belly, lift the heart, inhale, head looks up. Tailbone is really pushing towards the sky. On the exhale, we start to tuck that tailbone in, round the back, tuck the chin, squeeze the belly, really pulling that belly up towards the spine here. Continuing to your own breath. I'm talking through it a little bit longer than your breath might be, so just follow your own rhythm. And really find that breath control. If you feel a spot where you think, oh, that's it, that's the muscle, that's the spot, just hold that inhale or hold that exhale there, which is why we started with that box breath today. Learning to control that breath, to control the rhythm, and really notice what we need in today's body. We never want to ignore pain or discomfort. We want to acknowledge it, work around it, and certainly address if it doesn't go away. Meeting back into that neutral table, just bringing some motion back into those hips for a moment. If we're having any discomfort in the wrists, we can always come onto a fist, which is a closed hand. It's going to change that pressure. It gives us a little less in way of balance, but if you need a break, you can always come to a seat and take a break from where we're going next. We will be in this tabletop type of position for a few postures. So do what's right for you. If you need a break, you can always come back to trying it later. We're going to start to bring that right toe back, pressing into the right heel, just allowing us to stretch into that calf for a few breaths. And if this feels really great, you might hold it for a few breaths longer than I'm going to do for the video. From here, we're going to move into starting to lift that foot, bending that knee, and making some hip rotations. So it's like we're making a circle or drawing with the knee, stretching that leg back out as it comes behind you. Exhales, you squeeze that knee forward. And again, don't worry what it looks like, just getting that rotation, that movement into the hip. Never base it on my movement. This is the movement that I'm able to do in my body. Yours might be a little smaller rotation, whatever works for you today. And you might even do some version of this standing. Come back into that table. But from a standing posture, you could support yourself with a chair, holding it, and make similar rotations if that's easier on your body and your wrists. Inhale, looking up. We're going to come onto the forearms here, leaving the bottom in the air where it is. Start to walk the hands away until your head can come down to the mat, bringing the forehead in. And if you cannot go that low, a block or again a blanket rolled up might be nice to bring the floor up to you. And again, this gives us a brief rest from the pressure on the hands and a nice stretch into those shoulders. Start to rise, coming back into that tabletop. And when you're ready, the left toes are going to come back behind you, pushing into the left heel, just a nice calf stretch. Come back to that breath. At any point you realize you're not breathing or you're holding that breath when you don't mean to, come back to that deep breath. Really fill the belly and lungs. It's not a normal everyday breathing. We're intentionally bringing in more oxygen to energize the body and working that diaphragm as we pull it in and really squeeze out every last bit of the breath. And you might stay here. When you're ready, we're going to lift that foot up and make those hip rotations on the left side. So find that rhythm again. Try to match the breath. Inhaling as it comes back, exhaling as it comes forward. And it is normal if it feels good and you're letting it out. If you have that deep sigh of relief, you're at home. Let it out. And we're going to come back to that table. Adjust the knees behind us. And at any point that we come back, just swaying into the hips or any motion, maybe you want to take another cat and cow. I won't continue to walk you through that. We'll just pause and you take a moment to adjust how you need, whether it's the hands, the fists, some wiggle room. And we're going to come back to that right foot. Start to bring that right foot behind you. Lift the leg when you found that balance. And again, fists is a little bit more tricky for balance here, but maybe it's better for you. Just play with that. Bending at the knee, the foot starts to rise towards the ceiling. Just make some ankle rotations here for a few moments. And then we're going to flex the foot towards the sky. Nice deep breath. In, we start to push the foot up towards the sky, really working the glutes here and the thighs. And on the exhale, we're just relaxing it slightly. Maybe you want to bring the knee down more. Maybe you want to make really tiny movements. Inhale, we press up towards the sky. Exhale, we just relax it. We're going to do 3 more. Inhaling, we press up towards the sky, work the glutes and thigh. Exhale, relax. And bring it right back down to the mat. Again, wiggle the hips, do what you need to relax it out from there. Maybe you sink the hips back for a minute. Really for a moment. I'm not sure we have a full minute. And rise again. When you're ready, the opposite side. Left toes come back, pressing into the heel. Start to lift that foot, find the balance. Bend at the knee, foot comes towards the sky or ceiling. A little bit of ankle rotation here. Loosen it up. And then we're going to flex that foot like we're going to press up to the sky. Inhale and press. Really work the glutes. And let's not forget about that belly either. We don't want to dump into the belly here. That belly's active. Inhale, we press. Exhale, we relax. Squeeze that belly on the exhales. They're small movements and they might look easy on camera, but it's very active. A lot is going on in the body. Couple more. And relax that knee back down to the mat. A little bit of movement. And again, maybe you sink the hips back towards the feet. It's always an option, never a requirement. And rise back into tabletop. Inhale, looking up, drop the belly. Curl the toes under. Exhale, the knees are gonna lift, hips gonna head up towards the sky, head drops down. You might start to straighten those knees and press into the heels. Otherwise, you can keep a nice deep bend in the knees. We call walking the dog. Start to bend into one side and then the other. And then start to press back with both heels. Really draw the hips up towards the sky. Press the shoulder blades together. Inhale, look up at the hands, and we're going to either walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Make any adjustments you need. Good morning. Inhale, arms overhead. We're going to come into our first flow. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Next inhale, again, sweeping arms overhead. Try to stretch. Might come up onto the toes if you have that balance today, just an option. Exhale, coming back into the heels. Both arms are gonna come straight forward, parallel to the floor. Bending into the knees. A couple breaths here, holding this chair posture. Arms straight out, just help us a little more with that balance. And exhale, we're gonna keep going as we fold forward. Start to straighten the legs, tuck the chin in. Inhale, coming half up, and I'm gonna step back, giving us both some room. Lengthen the spine, flatten the back like a tabletop. Exhale, pull it in again. Find that breath on your next inhale. Try to keep the back straight here as you rise up and bring both arms overhead with you. And again, trying to come up onto the toes. And exhale back to the heels, sitting into chair, arms straight forward. Exhale, fold it forward. Start to straighten the knees. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release it back down. And when we're ready to rise, trying to keep that back straight and both arms come straight up overhead. Hands come together, exhale at heart center. We're gonna reach one more time, doing half of the flow. And we're gonna end up back onto the mat. So inhale, arms overhead. Again, if we have the balance, coming up onto the toes. Exhale onto the heels, bending into chair, arms come forward. Keep those arms coming down as we fold into a forward bend. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, release back down. This time we're going to bend into the knees, planting both hands into the mat, stepping both feet back to the top of a push-up. The plank pose may not be the right one for you. The knees can always come down to some modified version. A little bit further out is more like a plank, or you might just come into a tabletop again. Continue to hold and breathe. Hold the body in the posture, not the breath. Keep that nice deep inhale and exhale, squeezing the belly towards the spine here. And on that next exhale, lowering all the way down, elbows come towards the body for support. Onto the belly. Allow the forehead to rest into the mat. We call it your third eye. There's a pressure point there. Inhale, the head lifts, elbows come under the shoulders. I'm going to spread those fingers wide again, trying to make contact into the mat with all 10 fingers. They're at least the thumb and that pinky. The goal here is to try to get that belly button off of the mat by pulling that heart forward, shoulders back. We're going to add some motion here. We're going to put pressure into the knees, so maybe just feel your way into where those knees are and how we can put pressure there. If we need to curl the toes under to get a little more support, then that's fine. For a more advanced practitioner, you might be able to press into the tops of the feet. Nice deep breath in. And then by using those knees and those arms, we're going to lift the belly and the bottom up. So we're going to lift, exhale. Inhale, drop the hips and the belly back down. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, start to lift the bottom, squeezing with the hands, the belly. Inhaling, bringing it back down. Couple more to your own breath. And then come to rest back in the Sphinx pose. Deep breath in and out. Relax the glutes, relax the face. And start to slide those hands under the shoulders and come all the way down again. Arms are going to come back. Palms are facing up towards the sky. And on the inhale, both arms are going to press up towards the sky. And maybe that's all we do today is just start to inhale, lift head and chest and arms. Exhale, lower down. If you have a little bit more to give, trying to include the feet, lifting the feet straight up towards the sky. Inhale, head, chest, arms, and feet. Again, any variation of this. Inhaling as we lift and squeeze the glutes. Exhaling as we relax it all down and squeeze the belly. Come to rest all the way down on the mat. Maybe you turn your head to the side this time. Let the whole body relax as you exhale into the mat. Hands are going to end up under the shoulders again. Start to curl those toes under. Inhale, looking up. Just start to lift the chest, pushing into the knees. The bottom lifts back, the head comes down into this melting heart pose again. Inhale back to that tabletop. Make any adjustments. Maybe you need to walk the knees under the hips. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, curl the toes under. Press the hips towards the sky. Downward facing dog again. Noticing the change in the body from your first downward dog today. Maybe you're able to lengthen the legs a little bit more. Maybe you're able to press into the heels a little bit more. Lift the tailbone towards the sky. Squeeze the shoulders. Inhale to look up at the hands. Shifting the weight back to that plank position. And again, maybe full plank is not for you. Maybe the knees come down. A couple deep breaths in and out here as we hold. And on that next exhale, elbows come towards the body. Knees might come down as we lower all the way to the belly onto the mat. Hands might come up to make a pillow. Allow yourself to sink in, close the eyes, and take Shavasana on the belly, which is a state of rest. Maybe you take a few moments to just enjoy this place and time, this peaceful moment to yourself before all the busyness of your day begins. Join us on the next episode for Repose Yoga.